WWE Friday Night SmackDown aired last night on the Fox network. The show featured build-ups to future big or otherwise interesting matches, including a shocking swerve to close the show with AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. Perhaps the highlight of the night, however, was the ongoing Bloodline saga. Paul Heyman had a backstage segment with Solo Sikoa where he was told to handle Kevin Owens. Heyman went on to interrupt an in-ring promo, and it was a fascinating yet emotional segment. One thing that seemed clear to everybody is that Heyman possibly wants out of the Bloodline at this point in time. He is terrified of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa, seemingly for good reason. Despite that, the Wiseman remains part of the stable. This article will take a look at a handful of possible directions for Heyman following his big night on SmackDown and intriguing in-ring promo with Kevin Owens. This includes a major swerve, joining a one-time rival, and even taking a break from television altogether. Below are 4 directions for Paul Heyman following WWE SmackDown. 4. Heyman could jump ship and side with Kevin Owens. As noted, Paul Heyman and Kevin Owens had an extremely interesting segment together on WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Owens was cutting a promo about both Randy Orton and the Bloodline when the WWE Hall of Famer interrupted. The Wiseman insisted that the dangers of this new Bloodline were very real. He pleaded for Owens to back off and practically begged the former world champion to listen to him. He then ranted about how nobody listens to him and that he is capable of redemption. An interesting twist could be for Paul Heyman to leave the Bloodline and pair himself up with the aggressive but beloved prizefighter. How would Owens and Heyman work as a unit? If the pair had any level of chemistry, the veterans would likely work extremely well together. 3. He could get brutalized by Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline. Paul Heyman isn't typically known as a brave man. He will advocate for brave men such as CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns, but nobody will ever confuse Heyman as a daring and gutsy individual. Despite that, he showed unusual courage on WWE Friday Night SmackDown. He straight up questioned Solo Sikoa and the lack of strategy in this new Bloodline's attacks. He then ranted about the group in the ring with Kevin Owens. There is a very real chance that Sikoa and the Tongan brothers won't take this public display of disrespect well. This could lead to the 3 brutally beating the Hall of Famer down on a future episode of SmackDown. 2. Paul Heyman could take a break from WWE until Roman Reigns returns. Roman Reigns hasn't been on WWE television since WrestleMania XL. He lost to Cody Rhodes in the main event of Night 2 and hasn't been seen since. Apparently, he hasn't been in touch with many in the company either, as even Heyman admitted to not having spoken with him since the Show of Shows. Paul Heyman hasn't done well in Reigns' absence. He constantly references missing his tribal chief, and when the WWE Universe chants for Roman Reigns, Paul always makes it clear that he wishes the former champion was back more than anybody else possibly could. Given how worried he is about the Bloodline, a smart move for the Wiseman may be to keep his distance and leave television for the time being. He can wait things out until the head of the table returns, that way he'll know he's safe. Otherwise, he's putting himself at great risk. 1. He could prove to be the mastermind after all. During Paul Heyman and Kevin Owens' promo on WWE Friday Night SmackDown, the prizefighter said something quite interesting. He was under the impression that all of this was an act and Heyman was far more manipulative than he let on. In fact, the former Universal Champion believes that Paul Heyman is responsible for the new direction of the heel faction. Owens seemingly thinks Heyman is pulling the strings and causing the chaos created by Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Solo Sikoa. While fans are expecting Heyman to turn babyface alongside Roman Reigns, an interesting twist would be if he truly is behind everything. That reveal would shock the WWE Universe and elevate Solo, Tama, and Tonga to the next level. ### The aftermath of the Bloodline's betrayal. For creative directions for Paul Heyman in the world of professional wrestling, Paul Heyman is a master tactician, known for his cunning strategies and unparalleled ability to navigate through the chaos of WWE. Following a brutal beatdown by the Bloodline on WWE SmackDown, Heyman's future is uncertain, and the wrestling universe is abuzz with speculation about his next move. Here are 4 creative directions for Paul Heyman that could send shockwaves through the WWE landscape. #####1. The rise of a new alliance. Heyman forms a dangerous stable. The Bloodline's betrayal leaves Paul Heyman battered but unbroken. In the weeks following the attack, Heyman disappears from WWE programming, only to resurface with a vengeance. He forms a new alliance, recruiting a diverse group of wrestlers who feel marginalized and overlooked. This stable, known as the Renegades, includes underutilized talent from both SmackDown and Raw, as well as surprising new faces from NXT. Heyman's first recruit is Shinsuke Nakamura, whose recent struggles have left him hungry for a resurgence. Next, he brings in Bronson Reed, a powerhouse eager to make a name for himself on the main roster. Adding a touch of unpredictability, Heyman enlists the enigmatic Dexter Lumis. To round out the group, he introduces a new star from NXT, Ilya Dragunov, whose intensity and in-ring prowess make him an instant threat. As the Renegades wreak havoc across WWE, Heyman positions them as the ultimate disruptors, targeting the Bloodline and any other dominant faction. Heyman's strategic genius is on full display as he orchestrates a series of ambushes, match interruptions, and backstage assaults, leading to high-stakes showdowns at major events like SummerSlam and Survivor Series. The Renegades become the new force to be reckoned with, and Heyman's quest for revenge drives the WWE narrative forward. ####2. The Redemption Arc. Heyman seeks forgiveness and salvation. Following the brutal beatdown by the Bloodline, a deeply shaken Paul Heyman embarks on a path of redemption. Realizing that his past actions and manipulations have led to his current predicament, Heyman seeks forgiveness from those he has wronged. This direction sees Heyman in an unfamiliar role, as a man attempting to atone for his sins. Heyman begins his redemption arc by reaching out to former allies and adversaries, starting with Brock Lesnar. In a heartfelt promo, Heyman acknowledges his mistakes and pleads for Lesnar's forgiveness. Although Lesnar is initially reluctant, he eventually agrees to give Heyman a chance to prove himself. Together, they embark on a mission to dismantle the Bloodline, with Heyman guiding Lesnar through a series of grueling encounters with Roman Reigns and his cohorts. As Heyman continues his journey, he seeks to mend fences with other wrestlers he has betrayed, including CM Punk and Ronda Rousey. His interactions with these superstars are filled with tension and emotion, as Heyman attempts to earn their trust and support. The redemption arc culminates in a dramatic showdown at WrestleMania, where Heyman leads a coalition of redeemed wrestlers against the Bloodline in a multi-man tag team match. Heyman's quest for salvation not only brings closure to his character, but also creates compelling storylines for the WWE Universe. ####3. The Mastermind returns. Heyman unleashes a new protege. Paul Heyman is known for his ability to spot and nurture talent. After the betrayal by the Bloodline, Heyman sets his sights on discovering the next big thing in WWE. This direction sees Heyman returning to his roots as a mastermind manager, unveiling a new protege who he believes has the potential to dominate the industry. Heyman begins scouting talent across WWE's various brands, eventually finding his ideal candidate in NXT's rising star, Carmelo Hayes. Impressed by Hayes' charisma, athleticism, and in-ring skills, Heyman offers to mentor him, promising to take his career to unprecedented heights. Hayes, eager to make a mark on the main roster, accepts Heyman's proposal. Under Heyman's guidance, Hayes undergoes a transformation, adopting a more aggressive and confident persona. Heyman orchestrates a series of high-profile matches and rivalries for Hayes, starting with a feud against established stars like AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. With Heyman's strategic brilliance and Hayes' natural talent, the duo quickly becomes a dominant force in WWE. The partnership between Heyman and Hayes culminates in a title shot against Roman Reigns. In a thrilling match at a major pay-per-view, Hayes comes tantalizingly close to dethroning Reigns, showcasing his potential as a future main eventer. Even though he falls short, The match solidifies Hayes as a top contender and reestablishes Heyman as a pivotal figure in WWE. ############################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################### After the Bloodline's betrayal, Paul Heyman adopts a new, more sinister approach. Rather than seeking immediate retribution or redemption, Heyman decides to manipulate events from behind the scenes, becoming a shadowy puppet master who pulls the strings of WWE's biggest storylines. Heyman starts by planting seeds of discord within the Bloodline itself. He uses his extensive knowledge of Roman Reigns' weaknesses and family dynamics to sow mistrust and tension among its members. Heyman leaks confidential information, manipulates outcomes of matches, and exploits personal rivalries to create chaos within the faction. Simultaneously, Heyman aligns himself with a mysterious benefactor, an unknown figure who provides Heyman with resources and influence. This benefactor's identity remains a closely guarded secret, adding an element of intrigue and suspense to the storyline. Together, they orchestrate a series of events that destabilize WWE, including surprise attacks, shocking betrayals, and unexpected alliances. As Heyman's machinations unfold, WWE superstars and officials scramble to uncover his schemes. Heyman's true intentions remain hidden until the grand reveal at a major event, where he unveils his ultimate plan to dismantle the Bloodline and reshape WWE in his vision. The culmination of this storyline sees Heyman orchestrating a climactic encounter where the fate of WWE hangs in the balance, and his master plan is finally revealed. #conclusion. Paul Heyman's beatdown by the Bloodline opens up a world of possibilities for his character in WWE. Whether he forms a new alliance, seeks redemption, mentors a new protege, or manipulates from the shadows, Heyman's next move is sure to captivate the WWE universe. Each of these directions offers a unique and compelling storyline, showcasing Heyman's brilliance as one of the most influential figures in professional wrestling.